It seems there are two wars brewing off the coast of South America right now. The very active one is the U.S. missile strikes on drug runners. Today, Pete Hegseth announced that 4 more boats were obliterated in the Pacific Ocean. For those keeping score, the Pacific Ocean is a very long way away from Venezuela. Now, Venezuela is important because that's where President Trump says the government is in bed with drug gangs. 14 men were killed. 1 survivor was seen clinging to the wreckage right there. The Mexican Navy said a search for the survivor came up empty. And then you've got enough American military hardware in the Caribbean to take over all of South America. In fact, probably what might happen is an attempt to take over Venezuela. USS Gerald Ford should be arriving in the Caribbean Sea later this week. Many on the left, some on the right, say the administration needs Congress's approval before carpet bombing Caracas. President Trump said today he doesn't really care what it takes to, in his words, keep America safe.
When it comes to defending the United States, we're no longer politically correct. We're going to defend our country any way we have to, and that's usually not the politically correct way.
With us now, Senator Mike Rounds, South Dakota, member of the Armed Services Committee. Senator, it's good to see you. Thank you.
Thank you.
A couple of years back, we spent months talking about how we need to treat drug cartels like terrorists, and that means if military strikes are necessary, especially in international waters, fine. That seems to be murky about whether he needs congressional approval. Has the administration told you anything about what their plans are for Venezuela?
Not a great deal. We do know that, as the president stated publicly, there have been clandestine operations that are there, and he most certainly has the authority to conduct those. With regard to what his plans are there, I think they're putting a lot of pressure on Maduro. I think they want him out. He's clearly a strong man there. But whether or not they have any other intentions at this stage of the game, we have not had the opportunity to talk about.
Should there be an opportunity to talk about that?
There will be. But remember, you've got to put this in a historical context as well. Ronald Reagan went into Grenada and successfully changed things around there. And once again, in Panama with Noriega, had the same issue. And this time it was George Bush. So there is a history of presidents, when they believe it is necessary, taking action without going to Congress. Now, I would suspect that the president will notify leadership about what his plans are, but most certainly there is a history of presidents successfully intervening.
We can say, though, I think Grenada and Panama are a little bit different in terms of scale and scope, and in terms of what we're seeing is the amount of U.S. military lives that would be put at risk. Very different in Panama and Grenada than flying B-1 bombers and bombing Caracas.
Well, look, I don't think that's part of the plan. At least we've had no indication that that's what's going to happen.
Well, then why move a carrier strike group?
I think sometimes simply bringing in the team to say, look, there is a great deal of shock and awe that is available, can sometimes avoid violence. And I think maybe the president is sending a message that, look, we're serious about it. You're going to have to make a change in your long-term plans. But remember, there's about 6,000 individuals that are off the shore there right now. There are, I believe, 8 separate military ships in the area, including the Ford coming through. So we are making a real show of force. The president does have the authority to do that. There's no question about that.
No question he has the authority to do that. There is a growing group of senators and of congressmen, especially on the left, who say when you start this kind of, is to use the military term, kinetic action, that Congress has a say in it. At what point is Congress going to start reasserting any of its powers, be it on tariffs and trade, be it on declaring war, be it on actually starting to negotiate the budgets and have real appropriations? It seems as though Congress is ceding an awful lot of authority.
Number one, with regard to appropriations, we've actually started that process now. We've got 3 of them out of the Senate already. We've got probably 4 more that are ready to come to the Senate floor right now. We could probably get 85 to 87% of the entire approach ready to go right now and done in the next 3 weeks. Let me lay out the rest of it, though. With regard to the president, he does have the authority as the chief executive officer to make decisions about defending our country. We have, in the Armed Services Committee, actually requested specific information about what's going on with regard to the attacks in international waters. We're waiting on those reports right now, and this is Republicans and Democrats alike. So we've asked for the reports, and we expect that those will be delivered to us in terms of the legal analysis about why they feel they have the authority to make those.
Do you not worry, though, at all that we are moving towards, and I think this is true for both parties, to a point towards an area where the checks and balances that the founders put in are gone because Congress is too busy fighting with each other and raising money for their reelection campaigns rather than actually performing the work of the people and, for example, holding hearings right now, should we declare war on Venezuela?
Look, first of all, I don't think we're going to declare war on Venezuela. If we do, then that will come. It'll be an act of Congress that'll do it. But second of all, this is not a change in terms of allowing a president to act decisively when necessary if they believe that American lives are at risk. But let me go back just a little bit farther. Congress does have to act in unison. The executive officer does not. He is a unitary body by himself. The courts can respond. But remember, the courts also gave us back a lot of authority just recently with regard to the Chevron case, which now says that the executive branch of government cannot take a law that the Congress has issued and then interpret it the way they want to and have the benefit of the doubt anymore. But they said two things. Number one, Congress has got to do a better job of writing the laws in the first place so there is not as much gray area.
Okay.
But the second piece on it is they no longer can simply go willy-nilly with their rulemaking and expect the courts to simply accept it.
We've gotten a long way from things blowing up in Venezuela.
Yeah.
We're talking about the Chevron case. I say that respectfully. But this is President Trump on Air Force One on Saturday threatening a land war.
What kind of land targets in Venezuela do you want to strike? And how do you decide which ones to strike?
Well, we're going to see with Venezuela. I can tell you one thing. We stopped all drugs virtually from coming in by sea. And we'll stop all drugs from coming in by land very shortly. You'll see that starting.
If the goal is to have Nicolas Maduro out, which there's good reason to do that, why play hide the ball on this and make it about drugs?
Well, it is about drugs right now. And they are coming in, and they are coming in from not only the Maduro operation, but they're coming in from other countries as well, Colombia included. But we actually, in the National Defense Authorization Act, have provided additional direction for them with regard to cyber operations regarding any one of the drug cartels. So we've already started the process of providing them with legal backing in terms of doing the research to find out where the guys are at, how they bank, what they're doing, and we're doing surveillance on that, and we've done that with authorizations from Congress.
So you don't worry at all that we are getting to the point of, for lack of a term, just more forever wars?
No,
replacing the old forever wars.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to go that direction anymore. I really don't. But I think in this particular case, if a president says, I need to make a decision as the person responsible for the military, for the commander-in-chief, then the Constitution will provide him with certain authorities. But we still expect him to notify Congress, and when we ask for information,
I guess just
he's
from
got to be able to respond to that.
I get that, but from not just from a legal standpoint, but you look at it from a national security standpoint. At what point does America have does it become counterproductive? Okay, blowing up ships in international waters or speedboats with drugs is one thing. Taking out Maduro is another. All of a sudden, launching special operations raids into northern Mexico and taking out the cartels is yet another. Is there at no point that you say, as a senator, I don't think this is a good idea anymore?
Yeah, there is. But there's also a point at which we give him some authorities to do that. Part of it is he has to notify us under the War Powers Act when it moves beyond a certain point. That's there today.
And you don't think we've gotten there?
Not yet. But here's the question. In international waters, what is the legal standing of the United States to make those attacks? We're specifically requesting that information. It'll be in classified setting. We don't have that information yet.
All right,
we expect that information. That's part of our oversight responsibility.
Come back when you have it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.